All right, guys, we just wrapped up our awesome Porsche exhibition this week. It was one of our best exhibitions so far. We had a great range of Porsche RS cars. So now we're in the warehouse with our friend Carlos here.
See you again.
Thanks for coming down. Carlos is from Speed Sport Tuning, who we trust with all of our Porsches. They help us out with our race cars. You guys come to the track with us, do support, tweaking anything we need at the track. They've also got a great vintage department, so our 904 has been over there. These guys are 4-cam specialists, so they do all kinds of stuff in that realm. Our Speedster's gone there for some light tweaking. But today we're gonna do something
a little different.
Yeah. We're not on the track today, but we've got a couple track cars here. We've got the Andile Cup car and the Michelin Cup car here. We're gonna do a little road driving today. So Carlos made the trek down from Danbury to do some prep.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today? Nothing crazy, right?
So nothing crazy, right? Like say we're at the track, you really want to get the cars warmed up, get them on air jacks, try to get the trans rotating, just get some of that gear oil to loosen up, you know, kind of go from its stagnant point of being super thick, try to loosen that up, get the oil to warm up, get that thin it out. We're really looking for oil pressure to come right up to temp. Not oil pressure, sorry, oil pressure coming up to its proper spot, the temperature on the coolant to come up. We're trying to really look for operating temperature around 180 degrees. We'll get that there. We'll check the oil, make sure it's actually topped up. Last thing you want to do is have your oil low while you're out there.
Right.
Obviously, we're going on the street, so it's not too much of a big deal. Another thing is the tire pressures, right? We don't want them too high, especially with the cold weather like this. You just spin out, burn them up. So we're lowering that thing down, making sure that everything else is good. Fire system, God forbid we don't need it, but we got power in that. Again, another thing is throttle cable, right? Since these are manual cables, even though they got their paddle shifts, all that stuff, we want to make sure that's not stuck. So as you saw before, warming it up, just kind of flicking that a little bit, see if it returns without staying too high in the idle. Right. God forbid we're on a stoplight and it still wants to stick up, you're going floor it. That's really it. Thankfully, we're just going the street, so there's not too much to it, so we don't really have to warm up the trans. We're just going to take it nice and easy and hope we don't get any red lights, so we don't, you know, overheat the car.
Right, right.
There.
Yeah, that's what's interesting is you think about what kind of driving you do on the road. There's stop and go. Cooling is a big part of that everyday driving. These cars don't have fans. So the second you stop, that starts to heat up. And really the only way to cool it is to keep driving at really a high rate, right?
Yeah, so really, you can kind of keep them leveled out around 50 or 60 degrees or 50 to 60 miles per hour. Even like say you're at the race temp, you're already stopped halfway through the race because some incident happened and the pace car comes out in front of you, you're still not going to keep that temp down.
You're not going to get
so you kind of have to stay away from the people's exhaust drafts and try to do from there. So thankfully it's about 33 degrees out. This should help us with the street driving. You might have to come not to the complete stops at certain stop signs and red lights, but we'll try to make it go from there. If God forbid it gets higher, we'll just shut them down, let it cool off for a bit. Hopefully nobody gets mad at us. We'll keep going from there.
Cool. And they're a bit loud, huh, for the street?
Yeah, thankfully they're not terrible. This one might be a little louder than the blue one, the Michelin, but it's all right. The neighbors are used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it. They love us here, so we're excited. Well, thanks for coming down,
no
Carlos.
problem,
we'll see how this goes. We'll have fun.
Go forward.
All right, thanks so much.
Cool.
All right, we're in the Cup car, 997, sequential box. I got my wallet, we're good to go. It's a crazy experience. We're gonna drive these a couple miles over to our other building.
You can't say we don't drive everything here at the Audrain because we are driving our 2 Cup cars, the Andile and our lovingly called Michelin Cup car. Here we go.
I'll have a couple minutes to talk about stuff if I'm not overstimulated, but the main thing is about inputs. The clutch is very strong. The sequential box is extremely rough. You gotta have a little rhythm when you do this. And we're taking off now, so we're in first. We'll see how this goes. Carlos from Speed Sport asked me how good I am with stiff clutches. I feel like I'm an above average person with clutches. I load a lot of cars, load a lot of race cars, so I understand how this works. But this is just so cool.
So I got Ben Chester next to me. I'd like to say let's go for a race, but we're gonna take this nice and easy because it's a little chilly today. We're on slicks. Luckily our great friends at Speed Sport Tuning are here to assist us if anything goes wrong, prep the cars, so everything is great. I'll do my best not to stall.
Clutch wants to grab immediately. You can basically get off the line with no throttle. It's a little smoother if you can do it well. These cars have no turning radius.
This is a wild experience.
You gotta take everything a bit wide. We don't have the front lips on, so you're not gonna scrape, but here we go. Goes into gear immediately. It's not as physical as I thought it would be shifting, but it really does right into gear.
It's a little bit loud in the greatest possible way.
Just interesting to see how this all works.
Got a little rev bounce there, which is no problem. Hard to drive this at low speed.
When in doubt, clutch in, just like if you're gonna spin out or stall on a track. When in doubt, clutch is very smooth, honestly. Turns in like a champ. At this point, we got good temps. Gear oil's up, coolant's up.
It's a battle. There we go.
New first gear up the hill. It's much more together than I thought it would be.
Not ideal speeds for driving this car. You can see the shuddering because it really just needs to be going. So driving this on the road is just not the most practical application for the car. You can see the car stalled there a bit because it just cannot go at low speeds without too much clutch input, and we don't want to burn the clutch out on the car. So it's a real beast, but once you get going, what a phenomenal vehicle this thing is. It just truly is meant to go.
These cars are still cable driven for the throttles. So one of the tests that Carlos did before we went out was it's warming up. He's revving the car to make sure it can catch that idle on the way down, because if it's gonna stall, you don't want to be at a red light, give it a rev like that, and then you're stalled out and the car won't start. So, you know, main goal is to keep it running. I don't know if you can see the box here, but I'm now in neutral. You can see what gear you're in on the screen. You use the little lever on the sequential shifter to get you into neutral. It's not rocket science. Once you get it, you get it. So, back into first, little bit of gas. You don't want to overdo it, then you're in. right there. That was, wow. All right.
Right.
Well, now that we got a couple deep breaths in.
Yeah. So we just finished. I tried to talk in this while driving. It didn't probably go so well, as you'll see. But we just finished driving our Audrain's 2 Cup cars back from the exhibit changeover, which is exciting. Like I was saying earlier, you can't say we don't drive everything, because we drove these
drive
two
everything
on the road here in Rhode Island, in Newport and Middletown. So it was quite exciting.
How was it?
I didn't know what to think. Well, this thing,
Were you able to think?
Carlos from Speed Sport Tuning kind of gave us a little rundown to prep us a bit, but you know, you always have an idea in your mind what it's going to be like, and then you actually drive it. Biggest thing is you just can't go slow. Like,
right.
You know,
right.
it in traffic, and you know, these are built to go, and you know, when you see videos of driving and cars leaving off the line, shuttering and going, you'll get a sense of that watching this video on the inside. And we got stuck behind a little FedEx truck.
We got a little stuck, but it's funny because we drive a lot of different things, pre-work cars, all kinds of different stuff. And you know, I did a wedding recently. We have a 1938 Packard, and that's a vehicle where you're thinking 2 blocks ahead, right? You don't want to stop short. You have to change gear a certain way. You need a wide turning radius. Really the same here, just a bit louder and a lot more going on. But as long as you're thinking ahead and you're not starting to rush or get freaked out, it's a very, I don't want to say easy, but it's a predictable driving experience.
Yeah. You understand it. It's just a matter of, with this specifically, I feel like, you know, even if when we were practicing a little bit, I went around a cul-de-sac, just turning, died. The second it loses RPM, if you're not going, it just...
Yeah, and this was more easy to manage than I expected. We're coming up my Antinomi over here with a big hill. You're in second gear, it's starting to buck. Okay, clutch in, reset, first gear, then you have enough power and it doesn't want to buck. So you really have to read what these cars want to do, and I think a lot of drivers today just drive how they want to drive, and the car kind of adapts because they're safe enough to do so. But in a car like this, if you know what you're doing and you can plan a wide enough turn and just keep your mind kind of at bay, it's actually pretty manageable.
When you do get the open stretch, which we got a little bit here, and you got the car going a little bit, you can get a very small taste of what these cars can do.
They want to run for sure.
And
I mean,
I would love to really get an understanding.
I would love to too, but the power delivery is so smooth. I mean, not that I got over maybe 4,500 revs, but the power comes on so linear, and it's so progressive. You can tell all the power's up top, so it doesn't want to get away from you unless you're really, on it.
Well, it was fun.
It was a fun experience.
It was one I'll remember.
Yeah.
And there's I know we watch videos sometimes of like Chris Harris, and when they drive like the Valkyries, like, I can't talk and drive.
I know.
It's kind of like how I felt. I was like, what do I say? I got to think about driving.
Well, I wasn't able to really process thoughts, so everything that was in my mind, I was basically yelling at the camera. So I hope it's loud enough to hear, but it was, what a cool experience. I just can't thank everybody enough for letting us drive these.
Once again, I want to thank Speed Sport Tuning and Carlos for coming out and making sure the cars are ready to go. They always take great care of us, from our race cars to our vintage cars and everything in between. No better place to get your Porsche service, and other European cars as well. And then we have a new exhibit. Yeah,
we got a great exhibit up for a couple months. This is going to be a fun show for all the kids and all the guys out there who didn't get those go-karts that they wanted.
I know, every one of them like,
So this will be a great display for a couple months, and then we've got a very special show coming up after the new year with some supercars. So that'll be exciting.
Right. And like I was about to say, if you want to see more videos like this, driving Cup cars on the road or something special, make sure you subscribe.